Ooh, hey everybody, how's it going today? Time for another Seattle Mariners check-in. I said I was going to check in after 9 games, the 3 against Texas, 3 against Toronto, 3 against Texas stretch. And here I am, and it's a pretty good time to check in because stuff's getting real, and we've got ourselves an interesting test right around the corner. But, game just wrapped up about 10 minutes ago for me. Just finished the sweep of the Rangers. It was a lot more stressful and dramatic than it needed to be. Infuriating at times, but the team got it done. The team got the 9-8 win in 11 innings after the bullpen did all they could to give it away. So, I said that we needed to win 7 games in that 9-game stretch, and we did. We did. We lost 1 game in extra innings to start the stretch against Texas that we could really use back right about now, but we won 7 games out of 9. We are now 10 games above 500. We are, I think, 3 or 4 games back of the wild card. It's not bad. It's not bad for a team with this many flaws, for a team with this many problems. It's not a bad spot to be in. We should be probably 9 to 10 games under 500 if you look at our run differential. So to be here is kind of amazing. And the really amazing part is that we are doing this without scoring that many runs. If you look at these games that we've been winning over the last several days, or last week plus, 2 runs against Texas, 3 runs against Texas, 3 runs against Texas, and then we blew up against Toronto, 3 runs against Toronto and a loss, and then we beat Texas 3-1, and then we beat them 3-1 again. The offense has not been playing well lately. Over this 9-game stretch, the offense has been mostly dead, and we've won 7 of those games. We've had 2 games in that 9-game stretch where the offense actually played well. And it's not like we're not getting runners on base for the most part. We're just not bringing them home. So it's not a matter of everyone is just starting to play bad, although there is a little bit of that going on. It's we're not getting opportune hits. We're not getting hits when we have runners on base. We're not doing the little things right. We have so many times where we get like runners on second and third with no outs, and then we only get 1 run. So we survived that brutal stretch, which is great. As for that offense that has been struggling outside of today and that 1 game against Toronto, it's hard to know exactly what needs to be done, right? Haniger slumped a little bit in the last 9 games, but overall, he's still playing well. He actually had a really good game today. France has been playing well. He had the game winner today. He's been playing well. Seager's on a little bit of a hot streak. He's been jacking a lot of home runs lately, including the one that ended up being the difference yesterday. Torrens has been playing nicely. He's had a couple of nice big hits for us. Fraley's fallen off a little bit. Fraley started to struggle in the last few games. He got robbed at the warning track today, but overall not been great for him. But it's not like these individual players have all just started to fall apart. They're playing decently on offense for the most part. Even Crawford's still playing okay on the offensive side of the ball, but they're not getting their hits when runners are in scoring position. They're not. We have a lot of situations where a runner can only advance from second to third on a single because of the nature of the single. Little things like that are really starting to come back to bite us. So these games where we should be scoring 6 or 7 runs, we're only scoring 2 or 3 because the hits are not getting strung together. We're loading the bases with 1 out or no outs, and then we only get 1 or 2 runs out of it. Toro cooled off a little bit, of course. He was always going to cool off, but Toro's still playing really well. I'm not down on him all of a sudden. I still think he's playing well. Kelnick has been doing some really impressive stuff recently, individually at least. He had the day off today, but overall he's been good. Cal Riley is playing about as good as you would expect for a rookie in his first ever MLB action. I continue to be relatively impressed with his abilities, both on offense and defense. But it's not resulting in runs, and other than maybe Haniger, and even Haniger, he's still playing well. There's no one player in this lineup that I'm like really upset at, that I really want to bench or swap out or demand that they get better. I think what we're seeing from these guys for the most part has been pretty credible. I don't know how to put it. Is it luck? Maybe it's just luck. Maybe it's just bad timing and that stuff will even out over time, but we're getting the hits. We're getting the runners on base. We're getting the walks. We're making these pitchers work really hard. But we're not scoring runs. And that's got to change now because the competition gets a little tougher. Now, the fact that we've won 7 of 9 games without scoring very much is a huge testament to the starting pitching, which has been awesome the last week plus. Feels like a long time since we've had a really bad start. We had that one game against Toronto where they jumped on us a little bit. I think that was Gilbert. He gave up some stuff. He got bashed around a little bit. But this pitching staff has been, for the most part, phenomenal. That might have been the only bad start we've gotten in the last 9+ games. So I don't know how sustainable it is. I still don't think these guys are amazing or anything. But we got another great 7 innings out of Flexen today. It sucks he couldn't get the win, but he did everything he could. Gonzo had that awesome, I think it was a complete game the other day. Great for the bullpen, gives them rest. Big time stuff there. Kikuchi pitched well the other night. Just really awesome efforts. And I got to give it up to Tyler Anderson as well. He hasn't had a bad start to my recollection so far. And when we got him, it felt like a little bit of an afterthought. When we got Tyler Anderson, I was like, okay, this guy's going to pitch 5 innings a game, probably have around a 5 ERA, and hopefully that's enough for us to win some of his starts, and he'll eat up innings so other players can be okay, so other players don't exhaust themselves. If he can just give us 5 mediocre innings a start, it's okay. But he's been better than that. And it really goes to show you that even though we didn't swing for the fences, the Mariners did a great job at the trade deadline. Toro and Tyler Anderson have been, even though Tyler Anderson doesn't have a bunch of wins yet or anything like that, or he hasn't been, the winning pitcher very much yet. I think his record's just 1-0 actually, if you look here. And most of the starts he's had, we've lost, but he's doing all he can in most of these games. And it's a good damn thing that we have that going on because the bullpen, I mean, today just wipes out so much of the good feelings you have about them, right? Like you watch your bullpen piss away a 5-run lead in the 9th inning. And you're just like, okay, I guess these guys suck now. And it makes you forget how well they have been playing overall. Even Castillo had some good outings over the last week plus, but that was the big trade we made, really. That was like the big piece that was supposed to bring this team together. And well, I'm already sick of him, man. You can't do that today. A wild pitch to advance runners and then wild pitch / walk, and then he gives up the home run in that situation where that's the only thing you can't do to blow the game. And I'm not excluding Anthony Sandwich either, who was starting to turn it around, and then he just goes out there and gives up 3 hits and goes the heck home. But so today's not the right day to ask me how I feel about this bullpen. Steckenrider's pitching well. Sewald is pitching well. He got the save today. I know he gave up 1 run, but in extras right now with the way the rules are, you expect to give up at least a run in extra innings. Middleton's pitching pretty well, I guess. Swanson's pitching great. Sadler's pitching well. So we have a collection of guys who have, since that initial swoon after the Graveman trade, have been playing better, which is what I was looking for, because when we traded Graveman, a lot of people were unhappy, and there have been a few games where it's looked like we needed him. But I've said we have other good bullpen arms on this team. We just need them to collectively step up. We didn't get that at first. They were collapsing as a unit after the Graveman trade. But over the last 9 games, they've actually pitched pretty well. They've had to work hard to get this done, too, because the offense has not been helping them. The offense has not been helping them get these wins. And a day like today makes you forget about a lot of the good stuff, but they're pitching well so far. They are overall doing well. And Castillo, look, his slider is just brutal right now. I'm sorry, but his slider is such... Sometimes he just leaves it hanging, and it may as well be batting practice. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do there. I know he does have some good stuff. I know he has pitched well in the past. I'm a big fan of not making snap decisions based off a few starts or a few outings, but get that guy off my TV screen. I'm sick of looking at him. Me and him are not friends right now. I can't handle these meatball sliders anymore. So, is it going to be good enough? Now's not the right time to ask me, I guess. That's really all I can say about that, because today sucked. And straight up, we got bailed out by that idiot on Texas running off third base for no reason. So, if that doesn't happen, I think we lose this game in all likelihood. So, I have no idea what that Ranger guy was doing, but thank God for that. So, we get the win, but now's not the right time to ask me about this bullpen. So, we got, I believe, 40 games left in the regular season, and we're back, I think, 3 or 4 games of the wild card. So if you take a look at this schedule, the last 40 games, it seems doable, right? It really kind of depends on if Oakland's going into a free fall or if they're going to right the ship. Because Oakland was starting to lose some games. And I think a big part of this is, can we handle Oakland when we play them? Because we've got 3 against Houston. We've got 3 against Houston here. 3 against Houston here. So we've got 9 games against Houston. We've got 3 against the Red Sox. So those are games that you only expect to win a few of those, right? You expect to win maybe, 12 games total. You would be pretty happy if you could win 4 or 5 of those. Those are really good teams, Houston and Boston. And then, other than that, it's not bad at all. Kansas City's terrible. You got 4 against them next week. You got 3 against Arizona, 3 against Arizona, 3 more against Kansas City, 6 against LA in the last 9 games of the season. And they're not terrible, but they're not good. So you would expect to do very well in all those games. And you might need to sweep teams like Kansas City and Arizona. You get a total of 13 games against them. You might need to win 11 of those games. And it feels doable if this offense wakes up even a little bit, because those teams are really bad. So it comes down to, you've got 2 against Oakland next week, you've got 4 against them next month, and then you've got another 3 near the end of the season. Can you win most of those games? If you do, if you can win most of those games, I think you've got a real chance to squeeze into that playoff spot. Unfortunately, the Red Sox and Yankees, they may end up outpacing us even if we do well in the last stretch of the season, but we got to try. We're all the way here now. We got to try. We got to go all out. There's no tanking for draft picks at this point. There's none of that. So we'll see if we can take a couple off Houston. This series is big. And honestly, if we can find a way to sweep them, the division is in play. But I don't think that's going to happen. I got to be perfectly real with y'all. But I'm going to watch all 3 games and hope for something special to happen. We've got 3 pitchers who are pitching pretty well lately coming up against them. Maybe we can get Justin Dunn back and go back to the 6-man rotation. It's exciting. It's exciting right now. Sometimes, like today, it's exciting for bad reasons, but it is exciting. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Go Mariners. Offense, it's time to start stringing these hits together a little better. You need to start bringing these guys home. I'm sick of having bases loaded, no out, and scoring 1 run or 2 runs. Do better. Other than that, team's playing pretty well. Peace. We'll talk about it later.